JIT-TV, just in time.
Sanbanan Babugele Makaya and a very warm welcome to JIT-TV News, where we bring you nothing but politics, business, sports and entertainment all in one experience. Kamalam andile gugulethu intombi yakwaCindi uMahlaba. Let us take a look at your headlines for today. CCC party accuses ZANU-PF for causing confusion in nomination process. Freda to invest $2 million in gold exploration. FIFA lifts Zimbabwe ban. Now, the Opposition Citizens Coalition for Change party has accused ZANU-PF of causing confusion in the nomination process, in which it ended up flooding double and in some cases triple nominations across the country. Addressing a press conference in Harare late yesterday, CCC spokesperson Fadzai Maere said ZANU-PF forged signatures on nomination papers to cause chaos after it failed to penetrate the party systems. Maere said they discovered double nominations in 20 provinces, and the matter had since been reported to the police, and an appeal with the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission also had been filed. Meanwhile, ZANU-PF has distracted itself from the chaos in the CCC, saying it was satisfied with its own nomination process and was expecting a victory in the August 23 polls. Johannesburg President Cyril Ramaphosa is awaiting a report from the country's intelligence services following the torching of trucks on the N3. South Africa marked a second year since the devastating July 2021 unrest. The torching served as an ominous reminder of the events that took place leading up to that weekend. The torching of trucks on the corridor between KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng is believed to have cost the country millions. President Ramaphosa said it seemed like economic sabotage. South Africa's intelligence and police were heavily criticized for sleeping on the job in 2021. The presidency himself said they were looking into this weekend's incident.
Well, last night at about 12, one truck that was in a queue of trucks was attacked by a white car that the police are chasing. They seems to be establishing. They are working on the toll gates to establish exactly the identification of that car. They stopped it, they poured the petrol, they burned it, they opened fire on it. Looks like the rest of the trucks got the fire from the first truck. Fortunately, there could have been more damage. Those that patrol the highway, they were there to be able to fend them off those guys to save the other trucks. I'm told that we're not very far in finding the car and to know who were in there.
JIT-TV, just in time.
Building the brand. This is where you have to be to get where you want to be. Exploring companies and businesses that are thriving and leading is what we are all about. I am Mazimpofu, your host, that will be bringing to you big cooperatives and relevant people that will be sharing with you their journeys of successes, failures, and lessons learned in their businesses, from humble beginnings to global success. Catch me, Mazimpofu, on Building the Brand.
JIT-TV, just in time.
Let's take a look now at the African news for today. Now, an Eastern African bloc has called for a regional summit to consider deploying troops into Sudan to protect civilians after nearly 3 months of violence between the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces. The Intergovernmental Authority on Development, made up of 8 states in and around the Horn of Africa, met in the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa to kickstart a peace process for the conflict in Sudan. In a statement, IGAD said it had agreed to request a summit of another regional body, the 10-member Eastern Africa Standby Force, to consider the possible deployment of the EASF for the protection of civilians and guarantee humanitarian access. And now on to the international news for today. Now, Turkey has agreed to support Sweden's bid to join the NATO military alliance after a year of opposition. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said on Monday he called the moment as a historic step. Turkey President Recep Tayyip Erdogan agreed to send the accession protocol to the Turkish parliament for approval as soon as possible. Stoltenberg said nothing that President Erdogan would rather ensure ratification. President Erdogan and President Joe Biden discussed Sweden's membership bid over the phone on Monday. They decided to meet in person in Vilnius on Tuesday, said Jake Sullivan, Biden's national security advisor. Now, the Gold Mafia documentary became televised on the Al Jazeera channel.
Nonsensical documentary, a racist propaganda tool.
They have a right to sell their gold anywhere. In fact, I encourage Mnangagwa, bust the sanctions.
The government of Zimbabwe is incurring no risk, but it receives the tax.
Please wake up to the reality and the real scam that's taking place here.
Nothing but the best interesting stories and the hottest ones on the alternative view.
The revolution shall be televised.
Let us quickly get down now to the business side of news. Now, Kuvimba Mining House subsidiary Freda Rebecca Gold Mine produced 603 kilograms of gold in the first 3 months of its current financial year, up to 2% on the prior period, despite losing many hours of production due to power cuts. The company's financial year runs from April to March. The government owns 65% of KMH, which in 2020 acquired Bendura-based Freda as part of a wave of mining asset purchases. During the quarter, the firm undertook and commissioned a number of capital projects, including a return water dam and a floating pan stock facility at a cost of $6.1 million, which improved the stability of the tailings storage facility. Now, Zimbabwe registered $154.5 million in foreign and local investment in the first quarter of 2023. The Zimbabwe Investment and Development Agency has said the agency, which is in charge of promoting and registering investments in the country, said a total of 5,095 investor licenses were issued in the period. This covered both local and foreign investment, with China, India, the United Kingdom, and the United States being among the top five investment source markets. Zida said China dominated in the investors list, with most of its capital directed to the mining sector, particularly in the new lithium subsector.
Welcome to Azambezi River Lodge, Victoria Falls. Nestled on the banks of the mighty Zambezi River, right on the edge of the national park, Azambezi occupies the most unique and finest spot with the tranquility and seclusion every traveler seeks. Each of its well-appointed rooms is either garden or river facing, allowing you to soak in the serenity of the environment. The award-winning restaurant Amlonga offers delectable cuisine, which includes our famous high teas. To explore Victoria Falls from this fine location, book any of our packages now. Azambezi River Lodge. Relax, refresh, replenish.
Let's take a look now at your JIT TV weather focus for today. And lastly, moving along to your sports news. Now, World Football Governing Body FIFA is expected today to lift Zimbabwe's suspension imposed in February last year to pave way for the Warriors' inclusion in the 2026 World Cup African Zone qualifying draw scheduled for Cotonou, Benin tomorrow. The expected decision follows a series of successful round of engagements between representatives from the Zurich-based organization and the Sports and Recreation Commission. While there finally appears to be some light after Zimbabwe's lengthy isolation from the international football, it has emerged that former ZIFA President Felton Kamambo and some members of his executive committee had made a last-minute bid to stop the lifting of the country's suspension by FIFA. And that is it from me to you. A huge thank you for joining me today. As always, kindly please comment and follow us to all our social media platforms at Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, or rather you can go to our website at www.JIT-TVzw. Signing out, it is Andile Kukuletsi Ntombi yakwaCindu Mahlaba. Have yourselves an amazing day.
JIT-TV, just in time.
There are not so many places where mice excellence has been achieved. Meeting in Zimbabwe is the best business decision you will ever make. Our adherence to COVID-19 safety protocols is second to none, coupled with the warm and hospitable nature of the people of Zimbabwe. Our conference facilities sit on marvelous backdrops which will offer a splendid experience that will leave a lasting impression on you and your delegates. The magic of Zimbabwe can be felt in every breath, bite and beat. Stadiums and exhibition centers are known for their international appeal and world-class standards. The high-end technology will surely enhance your experience of the exhibition, festival or concert. Motivate your team by treating them to a trip of a lifetime through our crafted itineraries. Should they have love for adrenaline-packed activities or calm and relaxed excursions, the enchantment will last a lifetime of memories. Mingle and engage with locals and enjoy our diverse culture and warm hospitality. Our mice drivers are ready to welcome you to Zimbabwe and exceed your expectations.
The revolution shall be televised. JIT-TV, just in time.